600,000 people go missing in the United States each year. Tens of thousands remain mysteriously missing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mysteriously Missing. I'm Justine.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Karen. Today's case takes us to Southern Oregon.
Yeah, we're talking about Kimberly Mericle, and that's spelled Mericle. And she talked to her sister, Dana, who was her twin sister. And that was the last person she talked to on March 2nd, 2017. And she has not been heard from or seen since that day.
Yes, and some locations we're going to talk about today is in Southern Oregon, and it's Williams, Oregon, which is where she was reported living by NamUs, the national government agency where she did get reported missing a year later. Williams, Oregon. Also, it's Josephine County. Williams is in Josephine County. And the elevation there is 1,380 feet. It's about 78 square miles. The population density is 39 people per square mile. So it's very low.
Yeah, not that many people.
Right. So it's kind of an isolated, kind of sparsely populated area. You know, people probably living in cabins and other things like that. And the population in the total area is 1,142. So again, a small town. Now, Williams to Grants Pass, which we'll come into this later, still in Southern Oregon, 20 miles north of Williams is Grants Pass. And that population is about 34,000. And then Williams to Medford, the next largest town, is about 30 miles east. So Medford is 30 miles east of Williams, and that population is about 79,000.
So those are some big areas.
Yeah.
I mean, if she were to travel into them and get lost.
Right, especially with her occupation, which we'll get into in a sec. But yeah, she's probably familiar with all these areas. They're not very far, 20 miles. And then we're going to talk about Grants Pass in a bit. And then 30 miles east. So now, when we were researching this, we honestly have to say that we could not find any news information.
Yeah, very vague with the information they gave us.
Right, and we'll read that news posting, but it's pretty, they repeated it about 5 times, but there's no information in it. So we had to glean all the information from Facebook postings, some court records, and then we looked on some of these blogs like Web Sleuths, which people seem to glean a lot of information, research there. But anyway, her last address that was documented was in Grants Pass. So she obviously lived there at one time, but then NamUs says she was living in Williams. So the one that shows up on the internet is Grants Pass, but her family is reporting her as living in Williams at the time, which is 20 miles away.
And I think her Facebook even says she was living in Williams. So, yeah, so she must have moved or...
Yeah, she's lived in Grants Pass, familiar with that area. Also now was living in Williams.
Yeah. So Kimberly, she went missing March 2nd, like we said, of 2017, but her birthday is September 16th, 1970. So she'd be 48 today. 49 this year. She's 5'3". She's about 120 to 125 pounds, so very small and very short because I'm 5'2".
Right.
She has brown hair and blue eyes. She cut her hair really short in late February 2017. That pretty much a month before she went missing. She cut up to her chin, I believe, like above her shoulders. And she's white, and she studied at Massage Therapy Institute of Colorado. And I think that's on her Facebook as well. She was doing massage therapy or at least studying it.
And so she did live in Colorado at one time, and she still has family members there.
Correct, yeah. And there's also a post that she is from Brunswick, Georgia.
So ended up on the West Coast somehow,
yeah.
And her twin sister is still living in Georgia.
We don't know what she was wearing that day because, like we said, she had talked to Dana, her twin sister, on the phone, so they didn't see each other in person.
And we don't even know when she went missing, honestly.
Right.
That was the last time somebody had contact. She could have been home for a week and then gone missing. I mean, it's very scattered as to when exactly she went missing.
Right. And we don't know of any piercings or tattoos. And there's not really much pictures of her either, many pictures out there, so it's hard to tell.
Again, we're trying to put this case together to bring awareness to it, but again, not a lot of information.
Yeah.
So we just have to go with these posts from Facebook and hope that they're accurate and glean the timeline together. So, all right, her family she had a young son, and that really, it feels like motivates Kim to do whatever she needs to do to be with that son. She
Right.
just truly loved and adored him. You get that feeling from all her posts. Her twin sister was Dana, and we said Dana Gardner, and living in Georgia. She has a nephew, David Gardner, so that must be Dana's son, and her niece, Ellie Gardner, lives in Colorado. She is estranged from her husband. It could be her ex-husband. So we'll get into more of that in a bit, but I don't think that's going really well.
Yeah. Now, according to Facebook, she was self-employed, and however, we did find out she was in a band. She was a singer for the Bear Creek Band in the Williams area. And
you can look at a YouTube video.
Yeah, they have, I think we saw 2 of them on there, different videos they had. But Kim was vocals and guitar. There was also a member named Thad Jacobson who was vocals and banjo. And Willie Warwick was on the fiddle. And Mark Razis, I believe I'm saying that right, was vocals and harmonica. And I think one of their videos we watched was Out of the Way Cafe in Williams. So they would play live
where
for
she
people.
lived in the town of Williams. Yeah.
Right.
And it's kind of a country western band.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on her Facebook, also referring to where she worked or what she did for a living, she says on her Facebook, there's a quote, "I currently sell cannabis, among other things, to get by." So she was self-employed, played some music, sold a little cannabis.
She's trying to make a living, basically.
Yeah, making a living in a small area of, 1,100 people.
Yeah.
So let's get into the timeline now, which was all researched from Facebook postings and court records. Before we do that, I want to read the only news article that came out that looked like it's similar several times, and there was no additional information on this case, but we felt this case was important to bring to public awareness. So it looks like this. Williams, Oregon. Police are asking for the public's help in finding a 46-year-old woman last seen in Williams. Oregon State Police say Kimberly Mericle disappeared on March 2nd, 2017. Mericle is described as 5'3", 120 pounds, with chin-length brown hair and blue eyes. Police say she is associated with a Burgundy Isuzu Rodeo with Oregon license plate 004HSN. If you have any information regarding her whereabouts, call police. That's the only articles that came out.
Very little information, yeah.
So therefore, we did use information from Facebook.
Now, June 23rd, 2016, this is 8 months before she went missing. She had posted a picture with her son on Facebook, and that was the last post that she made on her personal Facebook account.
Very cute young man.
Yeah,
little
he is
boy.
cute.
He looks about 10 or so.
Yeah. Now, July 2016, she was actually arrested for possession of meth and harassment. And we believe she was arrested on July 11th, 2016, and then it was filed on July 12th, 2016.
She went before the court July 12th, the next day, yeah.
And the case type was offense felony, and this was, again, in Josephine County in Oregon. And her charges were attempt to commit a Class C unclassified felony.
And that's where we got it, that it was harassment. We're not quite sure if that is, but the official is a Class C unclassified felony.
And the level that it says was a misdemeanor Class A. And there's also another charge for possession of methamphetamines, and that was a felony Class C. Now, 4 months later, November 28th of 2016, she made a plea deal.
So we talked about, was she in jail that whole time?
Yeah.
So that's 4 months.
Right.
Or did she get bail out, probably. That's a long time to hold somebody, but
Yeah.
it is a felony, and if you don't have the money. So we don't have that information, but if she did go into jail, perhaps it was a time to get clean.
Yeah, I could have helped her sober up a little bit. So during that November 28th case, she had pleaded guilty, and they, I guess, dismissed her on a conditional discharge.
So now February 5th, 2017, and this is still before Kim went missing, she commented that she was admitting herself into an inpatient behavioral disorder home as soon as she could store some possessions. She estimated that it would be 2 days. Also, comments from a blog that we researched, someone said it's a tough case because the trail appeared to be cold when she was reported missing. Kim alluded to family issues concerning her son that we can't discuss, and we don't know what her mental state was at the time she disappeared. I'm sure this is even more frustrating for ones who know and love her.
So it kind of sounds like she was trying to better herself.
She loves that little boy.
Yeah.
And she wants to do anything she can to be a part of his world.
Right.
And unfortunately, because we have someone close to us that is abusing a substance similar, and it is very difficult to get clean.
Yeah.
They get addicted, and it is just a daily moment by moment battle.
Yeah. So March 2nd, 2017 is when Kim had last talked to her sister Dana on the phone. Now, I thought this was a little strange, but April, so a month later, her husband or ex-husband, Donald Mericle, filed a child support case. So he was trying to collect money for their son, but she had already been missing supposedly for a month now.
Yeah, she was the obligor on the case, and he was the obligee. So that means she was supposed to pay him child support. And obviously he has the son living with him. And so he was thinking she should be paying part of that responsibility.
Right. And it says right here the start date was March 31st of 2017. So if she had been missing early March.
Yeah, we talked about maybe he filed this case, probably was going to do it anyway because they are estranged and not getting along. But also maybe it was to maybe if she was retreating somewhere or hiding somewhere, maybe it was to bring her out. You know, we're looking for you. The court is looking for you.
Yeah.
So
now, according to Kim's Facebook page, she is estranged from her husband, who also has custody of their son and refuses to let her see him, which is really sad. Violating the custody agreement, she believes he is alienating her son from her.
So he may have concerns about her past, and he's taking the hard line and saying you can't see your son. But the thing is, the court is the law, and if the court says she can visit her son, then he is violating their agreement.
And I just wanted to add this comment that was on Facebook from someone named Robin. She posted, "Prayers for her safety. Reading some of her earlier posts broke my heart and left a lot of unsettling feelings towards her ex and whomever lives with him. I hope they investigate thoroughly. It seems that when she went to her ex's gate to deliver things to her son, someone was threatening her." So it's a little weird.
There's not a good relationship going on with her ex, and things are unsettling, and she's probably feeling a little lost and alone, and how do I get this corrected to get my son back? One of Kim's last Facebook posts says, well, leave it to me to drive across the landscape by default, though I've been itching to do so for weeks now. Whoops. It's hard to tell what she means, but in reply to a friend mentioning that she saw her son, she sounds angry and depressed and says, quote unquote, "I'm too worn down to care anymore. Enough."
So now, May 13th, 2017, Dana had posted on Facebook this quote. It says, "We've received a few tips of sightings as recent as yesterday. Please pray hard and continue to share, especially in the Williams and Grants Pass area. On behalf of Kim's family and friends, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the support, well wishes, and for the love so many are sharing for her. The state police have adopted Kim's case, which is also great news because they have the necessary resources. Sincerely, Dana." Now, there was a reply from a lady named Julia on Facebook. She says, "I know that posters were hung in Grants Pass on Saturday. A few were sent out to Illinois Valley, and some might have been hung in Williams. I put a couple up in Medford and also Rutch and Applegate."
Yeah, I was just going to say that it sounds like Dana is happy that the state police, are involved in her case, because living in Georgia, clear across the country,
Yeah.
it's not easy to look for your twin sister.
Yeah, definitely. At least someone's helping out a little bit. Now, May 21st, 2017, there was a community gathering on Sunday, May 21st at 4 o'clock at Sugarloaf Community Land, an education and recreation center located at 206 Tethero Road in Williams. Members of her family were there, as well as representative of the private investigating firm Kim's family had hired.
So they have a PI involved, and we don't get any information from that either, the police or the PI, so we're not sure what's going on. So May 23rd, 2 days after the gathering, it was stated that it was a success. Lots of Kim's old friends came and shared favorite memories. They supported each other and it really helped her family. The family then met with Oregon State Police to determine where they could best use their time while in Williams.
So they're there. They're trying to...
Yeah, the family is there May, which is,
about 2 months.
2 months
2.5
after
months.
she went missing.
Now, this was interesting. June of 2017, Kim's car was found in Grants Pass. So what do we say, 20 miles from where she was living, supposedly?
North of Williams.
And its contents are being processed by the OSP, which is Oregon State Police. And just to remind you, her car was a 2002 Isuzu Rodeo. It was a SUV style, and the color is described as rust or burgundy. And it does have Oregon license plates, which read 004 HSN. So that's very
concerning because it's 3 months later.
Yeah.
Where has she been since her last phone call to her sister? And now the car is found.
And if you think about, her whole family is 20 miles away. Like if she had, if she was in her car and drove to Grants Pass, her family was so close to her.
If it was in the Williams area, you'd think her car would have been spotted because it is a little unusual color.
Yeah.
In the Grants Pass area, which we said was about 35,000 people, a little harder to be spotted. But if she knew people there and had lived there, you'd think the car would have been spotted there as well, perhaps. So where was the car for those 3 months?
Right. Maybe someone stole it, but who knows?
Or hiding it.
Yeah. Now, Lisa on Facebook posted, "I'm not family, just a friend, but just saying it's possible the law enforcement is not releasing information due to still investigating."
About the car, yeah.
Right. Now, Dana, the sister, replied, "Bingo."
So in other words, the police are kind of informing Dana what's going on, but they can't release any information. So here is more detailed Facebook post saying that the car was found behind some motels near the north exit of I-5. I-5 runs by Grants Pass. There was no footage on security cameras as they are recorded over every week or so. The car was found in early June, which we said, and I wonder how long it had been there, which we're wondering as well.
Yeah, it could have been there for months.
Well,
sitting
motel
there.
parking lots, it depends on their policies, but some of them check a lot. It depends on if they have a lot of parking, and some may not check very often.
There is some sketchy motels out there, though,
that may never check.
Right. Yeah.
There have been some sightings and tips called in, it's reported. And there is also a mention in a second post of a tip received that she might be on a compound near Klamath Falls. So posters were distributed there. Another tip and
Yeah.
nothing really concrete.
Right. Now, September 4th, 2017, there was another post by Dana. I can't believe it's been 6 months since I last heard your voice. I think of you constantly, and I carry you with me always. I feel our connection strongest when I'm in the most beautiful of places, the beach, boating in the river, lakeside, all the peaceful places I know you love. We are still praying for a miracle. We are still praying for a miracle, Kim, and for the day you will be with us again, especially with sweet Rowan. I love you.
So that must be your son, Rowan.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about being a twin, but they say there's a real connection spiritually,
I believe it. Yeah.
psychically, that they feel each other, that they, even if twins were split up at birth, that sometimes they live similar lives because of their connection. And so I imagine her sister Dana is just really devastated and lost.
Yeah. And I kind of remember a story where a twin had passed away and that other twin that was still alive knew instantly. Like they just share this bond.
Yeah, I wonder what Dana's feeling. Does she think she's still with us?
I feel like Dana thinks she's still out there.
It doesn't sound like she's given up.
Right.
And she has hope because probably of the drug issue.
Yeah.
That she may be lost in another world.
Yeah. Now, September 12th, so a few days later, a woman was spotted that looked just like Kim. And it says, sadly, we did not receive the news we were hoping and praying for. A trooper responded to the call, and when she arrived, the girl was gone. So the girl that they thought was Kim. It is a good possibility she was hitchhiking, and between dispatching an officer and them arriving at the location, she was picked up by someone. They looked around the area, but no avail. It is unfortunate we had to wait with bated breath all night to get this news, but it is what it is, I guess. Thank you for your prayers and ongoing support. We, especially Kim and Rowan, are blessed with a strong community of friends and family, and we love you all from the bottom of our hearts.
So again, we were talking about spotting the car. People are looking for her.
Yeah.
She's been in the music industry. She's been in the cannabis industry. She probably has a big network of people and friends. Williams is a small community. She's lived in Grants Pass. So people are really looking for her. And they may be driving around. So the car probably was placed in the hotel a bit later.
Yeah.
So a reply from Christy on Facebook. We all make mistakes, and if we could, we would change the past, but we can't. Kim, you are strong and have a family and friends beside you to help you along the way. And Michael replied, thinking of her today and her music. Come home, Kim. Miss you at the shows. And Lisa replied, I'm so sorry it didn't bring results. If anyone sees who they think is Kim, immediately turn around, go take a picture, then stay with her. You never know what is going on. She could have some kind of mental amnesia or any number of other situations. I pray for continuing clues to come forward. Anyone who knows anything can leave an anonymous tip.
Yeah, it's sad, but I feel like she's out there. People are starting to see people that look like her, or you know what I mean? There's a lot of people searching for her.
The person that's close to us that is a substance abuser does go hiding.
Yeah.
Does not contact us for weeks at a time.
Yep.
We've even thought this person was missing. And they can get heavy into the drug world, get depressed from it, even if they try and come out of it.
Yeah.
And they can be mentally confused, which is,
it could be a possibility with Kim. I mean,
could very much be a possibility.
Yeah. Now, March 1st, 2018, so 1 year later, a nameless case was created for Kim.
And we always advise people who have missing to create that on the database.
The more information out there, the better.
Right. Also, Charlie Project.
Yeah. Now, June 2018, Facebook posting started to slow down on, I think there's a Facebook page dedicated to Kim.
Yeah, help find Kim.
Yeah. And September 16th, 2018, a happy birthday post was created by Dana. And again, they're twins, so they share the same birthday. And I was going to read it. It says, this was such a fun birthday 6 short years ago. If I could turn back time, happy birthday, sweet sis. I love and miss you with every bone in my body, and I feel you with me every day, especially today. Loving and honoring you and your precious, sweet soul today, Kim. And I guess the picture she had posted attached to that was taken 6 years ago.
Very sweet picture.
Yeah.
That's why we were drawn to this case, because this woman is loved. She's very kind. She, was living a life of, out in the woods a little bit, we'll say, and just wanting to be at peace with everything. And, she's greatly missed.
Mm-hmm.
So November 5th, 2018, a gal got some strange text, and she was posting that on Facebook. And she said, I just felt like it might have been Kim, but I don't even know her very well. I met her a few times. But the post said, I don't even know if she had my number, but the texts were interesting. It was like, help me, and I'm in the area.
And you need to call me now. My ride's about to show up.
Yeah, and with our close person, we have gotten texts like that too.
Yeah.
So it could be, but again, where was the number? Where was she calling from? How did she get her number? So
Yeah, my question was that the right area code? It could have been totally random.
she could be using some payphone, which
But you can't text on a payphone.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if she had a missed call
Well, I mean,
her,
a phone that you buy.
like a track phone, yeah.
Yeah, that you buy from like Walmart and then just,
Yeah.
put
I think
minutes
in the
on.
text she mentioned she was at Walmart.
Oh, yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
So-
and we know people that like to hang out at Walmart. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can go to any city in this country and see that there's an indication of people using methamphetamines.
Oh, totally.
So it's a big problem in our culture today. And according to Assistant Special Agent in charge of the DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency of the Kansas City office, Eric Smith, he says the use of meth nationally is at an all-time high. It's back with a vengeance. And the reason for that are twofold. The drug is now stronger and cheaper than it used to be. So in addition to being addicted to meth, chronic abusers may exhibit symptoms that can include significant anxiety, confusion, insomnia, mood disturbances, and violent behavior. So if you see somebody on meth, they tend to be a little intense. Mm-hmm. They also may display a number of psychotic features, including paranoia, visual and auditory hallucinations, and delusions. Crystal meth is known by many slang terms, including glass, blade, crystal, quartz, and ice.
And I just wanted to say there was a article on June 7, 2018 from KDRV Newswatch 12. It says the Rogue Area Drug Enforcement, which is RAID, so the RAID team seized a pound of heroin and more than 2 ounces of methamphetamines from Schroeder Park in Grants Pass. Now, this is 20 miles from Kim's hometown, or not hometown, but where she was living. Now, the raid team says, although they stopped these 3, the stream of dealers and traffickers catering to the hundreds of users in Josephine County is hard to stop. So it's everywhere. I mean...
Yeah, and that was, we just pulled that up to just say they've got a problem in that area as well. Yeah, so I know her twin sister and all of her family wants Kim to be returned, and she has a beautiful little boy that needs his mother.
Yeah.
And I know people in the area are looking for her, in the music world, et cetera. And if she went to a retreat center, I think she would have contacted them now. It's been way too long. So we're talking 2017 to now 2019, 2 years.
Yeah. And the whole car, I don't know, I'm like stuck on the car situation. It's just weird that 3 months later, her car is found at a motel in the parking lot.
Did she feel overwhelmed and start using again? Had stopped using maybe, getting well, and then started using again? It's a real hard substance to get off of.
Yeah.
And was she hanging out at some kind of drug house or with other
Doing
people?
a deal or something, yeah.
And then did she, something go askew at that point and they just ditched the car?
Yeah. I mean, the other thing was, people spotted that hitchhiker.
Right.
So she could be out there.
She could be out wandering.
Yeah.
And just had given up, and then you get into a homeless situation and going from drug house to drug house kind of thing. So,
It's a scary place out there. I mean,
yeah, it's sad when they lose their car too, because the person that we're close to does use the car as kind of a little shelter. And when she's lost that shelter, especially in Southern Oregon, where the winters can be a little tough,
yeah.
yeah, we just, we hope she comes home. Places where you can look up Kim Mericle is Help Find Kim Mericle Facebook page. At one time, there was a $25,000 reward. Under the Charlick Project, as we mentioned, there isn't anything there yet, but hopefully something will go up there.
Yeah, and if you see Kim or know where she is, you can always contact the Oregon State Detective, which is Travis Lee, at 541-618-7950, or the Southern Region Communication Center at 541-776-6111.
Or you can contact us at mysteriously-missing411@gmail.com.
Yeah, follow our Instagram. We'll post some pictures on there. YouTube, we're on Podbean and iTunes. Just share her case, get it out there. The more people that see her picture, the better.
Yeah, let's find Kim.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Please like, share, subscribe to this podcast so that others can bring more awareness to this case and help family and friends bring their loved ones home.